Dearest gentle listeners, Lady Whistledown is watching. So grab your masks, your tea, and your emotional support snacks because Bridgerton is back.
That's right, everybody. This is our Super Bowl. It's officially Bridgerton season. And this year we're doing something different. We're not doing 1 or 2 episodes. We are doing a full Bridgerton event.
That means weekly podcast episodes all through February.
And a live finale in March with our Bridgerton afternoon tea, where we will be dressed up just like this because we have costumes for every week, everybody. Get up on this. We're trying. We're really trying over here. We'll be spilling the tea. We'll be playing trivia and be talking all things Bridgerton Part 2.
Which means we'll be breaking down what we love about this show, what keeps us so hooked every season, the relationship dynamics that we can't stop watching, and where the romance stories actually help us versus where they sometimes quietly trip us up.
That's right. And so today is our first real episode, and we're going to discuss our biggest love lessons, the good and the not so good, from Bridgerton Season 4 so far.
So whether you're a casual viewer
or fully committed to the fantasy,
welcome to Bridgerton Central.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rescue Podcast, a brand new podcast where we bring the love and life lessons from your favorite rom-coms. I'm Kira Sabin. I'm a healthy dating educator, a certified coach, and a positive psychology practitioner. But more importantly, I spend my days teaching the skills and mindsets of dating.
And I'm Dr. Isabel Morley. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and an EFT certified couples therapist. And I help couples have the happiest, healthiest relationship possible. Join us weekly as we break down the best love lessons from your favorite rom-coms so we can all get into the best relationships possible. Because we believe that we create our own happily ever afters.
All right, guys, welcome. Welcome to our episode 1. Our biggest love lessons, good and not so good, from Bridgerton Season 4 so far. We're so excited to be back talking Bridgerton. And before we dig in, as we're going to real deep, Izzy, could you share a little bit of our rules for Bridgerton?
Okay, our Bridgerton rules every season. There will be limitations on the conversation we're going to have due to the rules of that time in history. Especially for women and people of different classes. There was a lot of different rules and expectations and limitations. So we're going to do our best, but the power dynamics are already skewed from the beginning.
Let's get into it.
God.
I know. I binged it all in an afternoon, like the day after it came out. I just was like, let's go.
That's the way to do it.
And I was a little apprehensive, I'm not going to lie, about what they were going to do with this and it being Cinderella and like a maiden. But ultimately, I really loved it. I really loved it so far. And I have a lot of thoughts, but the first things I have to say is, we're going to the cottage.
I'm coming to the cottage.
Kira, can you believe it? Another cottage? I just wrote an article on Psychology Today about this, that like the cottage has become this symbol for romance stories. It is so crazy. I like cheered when I saw that.
I love people making all of the connections between Heated Rivalry and Bridgerton.
Yes.
It's hilarious to me.
Yes.
But I have a couple of really important thoughts that I need to share with you and our listeners.
Oh, God. Yeah.
First of all, let's get pinnacle. I want to get pinnacle. Let's get pinnacle. I will only be using the word pinnacle for orgasm from now on. Just so you know, I will never say the O word again.
Orgasm.
It is
It's
so
dead to
sad
you.
to me. It's dead after I now know I can use
Pinnacle.
the word pinnacle.
I don't like it.
You don't
know
like
what?
it?
For some reason, I don't like it. I'll use zenith. If we're just making up words for it, I guess we can just assign.
Zenith?
Yeah, it's the same, right?
I
As
mean, I'm
pinnacle.
probably going to now have to use zenith because
Zenith.
that's 10 times better even. Hello, Bridgerton. What?
Yes.
Oh my God. But when they called it a pinnacle, I was like, shut the fuck up. And then I just laughed the whole
But also,
entire
like,
time.
can someone tell this woman what it is? Thank God Penelope did, but I was like, we gotta be, and this is at the times, they didn't talk about sex with women. It was like not a thing. I was like, somebody help her out. She does not know what's going on.
Oh my God. Yeah. And she's already married and spent the summer with him. But then we saw the Featherington sisters, who we are not seeing this season at all, by the way. We're not seeing a lot of people.
No.
In fact, I'll mention one of them in just a second.
I know who you're thinking of.
I know you do. But we found out last season, like, they did not even really understand what sex truly was. And I'm sure that's happened. But I also have to say, and I want somebody to confirm this from Netflix and Bridgerton, I think they listen to our podcast. I swear to God. Because all
what
of the
makes
shit
you say that?
No, let me back this up. This is the most ridiculous statement I'm ever making.
I love this. Yes, love
because
this.
Do I think that Shonda or any people at Netflix are listening to our little podcast? I hope so, but I don't think they are. However, I was shocked at how healthy this season is, and that's the first thing that you said.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. So I didn't get to binge it. I think that's the right way to watch it, though. I had to watch it in piecemeal because children get in the way of episodes.
Blah, blah.
Life, I know. But yes, first thing I could think was this is the healthiest season we have ever seen. I was like, oh my God, all of these good love lessons that we can talk about and pull from. It's so wonderful. It's no enemies to lovers, stupid games, ruining people's reputations in the way that always makes me feel icky. I was like, there's so many good love stories. I feel like we have so much to talk about.
Violet
Bridgerton showing up.
I'm just saying that, like, every other season, she has been a bit problematic.
Mousy.
I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But just with her whole, like, telling her kids that the way that they are loving or seeking love is wrong because they should be looking for a love match, which is lovely, but I really think. But now she is.
A lust match. That's right.
I am the tea you're having, Izzy. I am the tea you're having. Oh, my God. I about fell the fuck over. And shout out to Bridgerton. I think that in the future, this will actually be looked at, the series, as cutting edge and a major change in the way that TV and series are made with diversity and everything else. But I love that we got to see. I think that Ruth, real life, is almost 60. I love that we got to see her looking fantastic and getting her pinnacle zenith on. And
this hottie.
Right. With Lord Anderson. And I'm like, this is why I'm saying I think they listen to our podcast, because this season was so much healthier. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with all of the writers and the people who put thousands of hours into this. I'm sure it has everything to do with this.
Of talking about it, yeah. But across the board, I thought the relationships were healthier.
Agreed.
And they always make the previous season's couple look better in the next season. They just get along now. They don't fight now. They're so happy together. So whatever, that's fine. But like all the couples, I didn't see stuff that I was like, oh, I hate to watch this. This is so problematic. This feels so unhealthy.
Agree.
Like they're all very different, right? Like Francesca, very different from Penelope, very different from Violet. But they are all good examples of how you can pursue a romantic relationship or just a sexually intimate relationship. Violet?
It is interesting that they don't seem to be courting. They seem to be doing it.
You know,
why am I so ridiculous?
You're right. Like there is
like,
a talk
why isn't he actually courting her? They're in society. They're both single or they're widows. Widow and widower.
Right.
Like why? I guess maybe he is, because we see him in her receiving room. I don't know what that would be called.
Not for nothing. If I'm Violet, I'm not going to remarry, because then would he become Lord Bridgerton and then take over the household from Anthony?
I don't know. Everybody tell us if you historically know. Right?
What's the succession
I have
for
no
these
idea.
kinds of things?
Because to me, it's Anthony and then their son,
their
son,
offspring.
Right? Yes.
So Violet's on her own, so she might as well go get married and live with him.
Yeah, because remember, wasn't she, it didn't reference last season that she's supposed to leave and live in another cottage because it's not officially her place
home
anymore. And then, okay, good. I'm glad we're solving all historical things here. But the last thing I'm going to say, which I just think is very important that I say it, which is where the fuck is Cressida? Where the fuck is she? She is
Second half? I don't know.
I feel like we saw her like in a second, like walking maybe, but that would just maybe even like her and Eloise at the masquerade. Maybe. But maybe not. Like it was literally she was walking and then that's it.
No, they sent her away at the end of last season, didn't they? Didn't they send her away? Her dad was like, you got to go. She had to go live with some aunt somewhere. But it seems weird they put all this work into her storyline last season for her to just be gone.
Completely gone.
Season. Yeah.
And I felt like her and Eloise were friends. And so I don't know, but I thought about you during that tough time.
Maybe she's with Lord Debling now.
I hope so. I hope so. Because he'll just be with his animals in nature anyway. But she won't be stuck with her shitty family.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with your first and favorite love lesson?
Okay. Let me tell you my favorite love lesson, Curly Sue, which is that we see John and Francesca, their relationship, which I think we know is not perfect because she's clearly not attracted to him, is not enjoying having sex with him enough to reach her pinnacle. But they have what I consider a beautiful relationship.
I
albeit
agree.
Not perfect. I think the way that he cares for her and considers her, like, let's stay this season so you can be with your family more. You didn't seem super happy in Scotland. Maybe that was too much. The way that he talks to her about sex and normalizes what she doesn't know and, you know, that she's not reaching her pinnacle. I just felt like he was a responsive, loving partner and made her feel safe. And she is buttoned up.
Absolutely.
She's not like a chatty Cathy about what's going on with her, but like every interaction we saw with them, I was like, oh, this is good.
I agree, because I didn't know how much we were going to see of Francesca and John. I didn't know if they were going to just keep them in Scotland, but I really think that they are probably the greatest example of healthy love this season, right? Mm-hmm. They communicate. There's no drama. They are asking each other questions. They are checking in with each other. I really loved it. Yeah. I'm interested to see what they're going to do because I don't want to downplay the future, but I really like their relationship. And I like it for Francesca because I feel like she probably has spent most of her life feeling really misunderstood.
Yes.
Right? And he just, and he just cares for her as is. And that's a beautiful thing, playing her piano forte.
Which she loves. Who's your favorite?
She loves her piano forte.
Of the season.
I love all of it, right? Like, I do. I'm actually, I need Benedict to get his act together a little bit, personally.
Can I just do a little asterisk on this?
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
Season, it's like,
we feel that
this
way,
is the
right?
worst Bridgerton. He's the rake of the family. And it's every season. It's like, wow, you really are the craziest Bridgerton boy. He's not worse than Anthony was. He's not worse than Colin was.
He is not, but he is weirdly disrespectful in a way to everyone in his life that I'm not okay with. That's it. Anthony was really grumpy all the time and angry that he was now like Lord Bridgerton at such a young age and everything else. But Benedict is just a kid walking around, hoping it all works out. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And just, we all have the behind the scenes story that Sophie and him kissed, that she's the lady in silver, but he's kissing her at his cottage, which could absolutely ruin her.
Yes.
Right? Like things like this, that he is not asking if it's okay. He is not. So listen, I love Benedict, right? He's artsy and wandery and curious and a little bit naughty, but he is also, what I'm seeing, really like unintentional, basically just flailing and hoping that the right person's just going to figure it out for him.
Yeah.
And dude, you're a guy with a lot of money and a lot of power. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so I'm I'm
going to back you up on that because at the cottage, as lovely as it was, I mean, obviously, of course you're right, but we even see the caretakers of the cottage, right? The Crabtrees?
The Crabtrees, yes.
But she even has to step in and remind him, you can't be acting like this with her because it will be fine for you, but it won't be fine for her. Nobody's going to hire her. So like, you have to be a little bit more serious about the consequences of your actions here. And didn't he also kiss somebody at the masquerade ball, which could ruin that person? So stop ruining
She
women's
kissed
lives.
him, actually. So
Oh.
I did like that. She kissed him. But once again, he seems to be, as we've been sharing on Instagram, he's in a threesome with the same woman, which I thought was hilarious. But it is not thoughtful. And the things that I've always felt like Benedict in the other seasons was thoughtful. Right? That I think
Yeah.
is one of the things I really liked about him is that he seemed curious and kind and thoughtful. And this isn't thoughtful. This is really like emotional and passionate and not
Goofy.
having
Yes.
conversations because we're not even getting to the end scene that everybody under the sun is talking about.
Which I'm
Will
sure we
you
both have
be my
thoughts on.
mistress?
I know. But at the time, that was
Yes,
actually kind of a
historically.
nice offer, which is horrific, right?
I
But
know.
like
I
Anthony's
know.
method, she was pretty well set up. She had her own place. He was paying for her. He was taking care of her. Like, obviously, in modern times, like, not okay, not signing up for this. But I think he was trying to be kind, romantic. I don't know. Selfish.
Here's the only thing. Oh my God. I feel like the way that would have been great, although A, probably not very Bridgerton, and B, not very romance series friendly, but like a conversation about it. Is that something you would be
Kira,
interested in?
we can't
Is
be
there a-
together, but
Yeah. Like, I care for you. I have feelings for you. Unfortunately, because of the world we live in, we cannot be together in the way, but would you be interested? Or could we
Yeah.
talk about what that would look like? Like,
Kira, yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. She's horribly offended, as I feel like she should be, just for the fact that he didn't
She
even
should-
discuss
yeah.
it. He hasn't even really expressed emotions. All he has
No.
done is started like fingering her in the stairway.
Which was like
That's
a great scene.
hot.
No, not
Listen,
yes, but
it's,
but
I'm on it.
but
into
but
it,
his
so.
like expectation that she would be thrilled by this
Right.
offer is also just obnoxious and pretentious, and shows that he is not thinking about her as a separate person with complex
Right.
feelings who might be hurt by it as opposed to flattered.
And like I said, like historically, because I saw a lot of conversation different places, because I always like to go and look at what people are saying, and everybody's like, oh, he said, will you be my mistress? And I've seen a lot of people talking about historically that was actually very common, that was actually kind, that was whatever. Totally agree. But the point is that he didn't express his feelings. He didn't say, this is why I would like you to possibly be in my life and what that'll mean. You know what I mean? And
What that looks
once
like,
again,
yes.
because they're making out. But could he have handled that 17 different ways better?
Sure could.
Yes.
Sure
could have. That would just be respectful no matter her station of just human to human. Because even if she's his mistress, they're still two humans trying to have a relationship.
Which is him the whole 4 episodes is like, you can wear my sister's dresses. We're here. You saved my life. Don't do any work. You're not a maid at my cottage. So like he tries to treat her like an equal, right? There isn't a class difference. And then suddenly it's that abrupt shift that I think hurt everybody's feelings. But even his
Right.
encouragement of, no, take this time off. Just wear all the beautiful gowns. Even that was not considering what that would feel like for her, which is maybe uncomfortable, sad, like confusing. A lot of feelings would go into that. And he's just like, no, you saved my life. I'll be nice to you. You'll be so happy.
And so I'm not going to go deeply into like my biggest issue with this, which was always going to be the power imbalance. We're going to discuss that a lot next week in our attachment styles. It is hard. First of all, I would have never made it as a maid back then. Never.
Oh, Kira, no, you would not have. No, not.
Maybe like a Crabtree situation.
Yeah.
If it's like Danny and I taking care of a cottage and they come visit. What is that, like Benedict's own cottage? Like not all of the Bridgertons?
No, I don't know. I don't know, but also they named
Are
it
they
so
that rich?
They might be.
That like, because
The Viscount. I mean, I don't know.
That means nothing to me. But a couple of other healthier love lessons. I love that Sophie, coming from the dating aspect, I love the conversation in the gazebo. And she was bold and she was honest, and which Benedict liked. But the only reason she could be that is because there was no future there.
Mm-hmm.
If she was actually in society or on the marriage mart and looking for a husband, she could never be so honest. She could never be so bold.
No.
That would never be okay. So the only reason that she was able to do that was because there was no future. However, I wish that we could all date with that a little bit more. Meaning, a lot of times when I see people dating or hear about people dating, that first or second date, they're like, is this my person? Is this my future husband or wife or possibly parent to my children?
Yeah.
And the amount of pressure that puts on us, or even the way that we are seeing that other person, is so unhelpful. And when we have that kind of pressure of, is this my person? We're not going to be ourselves. We're not going to be authentic. We're probably not going to be boundaried. We're going to
Misinformation. We're going to
misinformation. And then depending on your attachment style, which once again we'll go into next week, you might be overthinking that somebody's story in your head of, oh my God, this is my perfect person, or cutting that person out right away because we're not showing up as ourselves. So I actually loved that. And I love that she kissed him because she had no skin in that game, right? She was like,
yeah,
I'm out of here. I'm running home.
Her one chance. Yeah, good for her, 100%. Although I feel like I say this every season, Kira. Does it matter or does it not matter if you're alone together? Does that ruin your reputation and therefore you have to get married like in season 1? Or are the rules bending over time? Because it's like people are alone together more and more every season.
So I looked up some history this morning. If for some reason he chose Sophie and she was an actual maid, which I think we're probably going to find out other things moving forward. But if she was actually a maid, he would be ruining the Bridgerton name. He would actually be ruining chances for his upcoming sisters and brothers to finding a match. He might be affecting them financially.
Yeah.
It's serious. And one of the things I love and that is frustrating to watch this season is Benedict is the definition of unserious about everything.
I will point out, too, when we're seeing people dating, and especially with Benedict, they have stories and narratives about who they are. You know, he's like, I am this person. I am the one who is irresponsible, staying out. I'm the rake. I'm drinking. I'm sleeping around. Like, that's just who I am. I can't change who I am. Don't put me in a box. And then, of course, he meets somebody that makes him want to maybe think about getting married. But I think we have to be so careful the stories that we are telling ourselves about who we are in a fixed way, and then how we are selling that story to the people in our lives too, which will inhibit you from being flexible, from being able to change and shift your story. And I think we see so much of this. This is my identity now and forever, and it's so unhelpful.
And we don't see him that happy in that identity. One of my favorite parts of last season, when Colin kind of said to his friends, like, don't you want more than this? Right?
Yeah,
and I kind of need that for Benedict too, but just, I want him to want more. But tying into this, which I thought was this great moment, because once again, I believe that they listened to our podcast. There was a great moment that I felt was not Violet in former seasons, but was definitely Violet this season, which was amazing. And she says to Benedict, and I actually wrote this down. I went and found the transcription and wrote it down because that's how dedicated I am to everybody here.
You are dedicated.
She says about the woman in silver, right? So not Sophie because they don't know. She may not, at least not in the way you have imagined in your head, which is perhaps why you were so drawn to her. You have always had a tendency to chase the imagined. We all chase the imagined to some extent. I am still expecting to see your father around every corner. But I also know that reality is where love grows and reality feeds your heart.
Oh, that last part of it, when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, that is exactly it. That is the truth. You have to live in the real world with the person you're dealing with and be yourself for anything to be genuine and to actually grow.
Do you know how easy it is to like somebody you had a 30-minute conversation with in a hot kiss? Do you know how easy it is to like somebody, to live with them and have tough conversations and conflict come up and all of the things that happen in a real relationship? I mean, I literally think they stole that from us. But no, That's exactly what I would want her to say. And I think
Yeah.
it's so true. So many of us are tied more to the stories of who we hope people will be to us, what we hope that relationship will be like, versus what actually it is. But love lies in reality.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Violet finally showing up and not just, you'll find your love match, believe, be open, pass up on a good person because they're not the one, the soulmate. Finally,
Yes.
she says something grounded and helpful.
Agreed. What are some of the not great love lessons? Because it's Bridgerton. There's always going to be a couple.
We got to talk about this first one. This is the next article I've started writing, so this is like
Love it.
perfect timing. We hear, what is her name? Penworth? Sophie's
Arminta?
stepmom.
Yes. So
Yes.
I actually wrote it here. Lady Arminta Gunn, which, by the way, is Cho Chang from the Harry Potter series. If everybody here recognizes her.
I did not recognize her. Get out of town.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I know.
So we hear her in like the first or second episode mention, somebody says like Benedict's a rake, yada, yada. She goes, well, reformed rakes make the best husbands. And that has been a message every season. And I think we need to talk about how this is not true. I think it's the fantasy of the bad boy, playboy, meets the one, changes his whole lifestyle and values and belief system for the person who's going to finally help him be mature and settle down and have a family. Or is it the fantasy that, like, because they're a rake, they're going to be great in bed and they're going to know exactly what to do, and so they're going to be enjoyable in that way? Or have they gotten it out of their system and sown their wild oats and they're ready to be a stable, consistent husband? Either way, there's this huge gap between the way they're living their lives and who they're going to be as a husband in this fantasy, and I can't stand it.
Drives me crazy. I wrote that down. I did right away. And although I don't believe we go around now saying reformed rakes make the best husbands, we do have this belief about bad boys.
Yes.
And I think for me, it's about somebody changing for your love. That you
so
have
wonderful.
Loved them and you have earned, as an anxious attachment, you have earned that love so much, so hard by being so wonderful, right? That they will change all of their bad behavior, which, by the way, is probably not a choice, but is unhealed shit. But they'll change their bad behavior. They will choose you. They will never choose somebody else. They will love you forever. And none of that actually makes sense, right? So if that was a true story in the 1800s, that's not really the way that modern relationships work. So I do think that's still a thought we have, right? That if somebody who has a sordid past, like if they've decided to commit to you, that
they'll
just means
be that. Yeah, they'll be loyal. They won't stray.
Or we sometimes believe that if they can't commit to you, that like you didn't love them enough, right? Or that your love isn't as real or important as you thought it was. And that's just not true. We can't love somebody out of their fear. We can't love somebody out of their unhealing. It doesn't matter how much you show up. If they're not willing to heal some of the stuff on their own, then there's a reason why people cheat. There's a reason why people make poor choices in a relationship. And it's not because of the amount you love somebody. And I hope people really hear this. It's because of their own unhealing. And you have to choose if that unhealing is actually enough to create a relationship with.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
I know. Is it hard that we are this smart and in costume?
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
Wondery, where are you? Amy Poehler.
We're ready.
Reese Witherspoon. We're ready, guys. Look at us over here. There's one thing I have to say.
Say it. I know what it is. Say it.
What the fuck is going on with Eloise this season? What the fuck? She is just cranky and catty.
Not
and
fun.
She's always beat to her own drum. She's always wanted a little bit different things than everybody else, although she's wanted them as a rich woman with a title and options, which is very, very different. Yeah. But like, she's just catty. She's not self-reflecting in any way. And I feel like this season she's really jealous of the people in her life who are now in a relationship or married. And I think she's feeling left behind, but she's not thinking about it. Like, is this something I want, or do I want to change something? She's just getting stinky. And I love that
Yeah.
Hyacinth called her out.
I know, I
'Cause
do
love
too.
Eloise.
Also, just let Hyacinth be happy about this. This is fine. It doesn't mean that she's not smart or whatever just because she would like to follow what society has laid out for her. Like, she seems genuinely excited for this path in life. Great, let her have
Right.
that. Like, whatever. But this is, I think, back to too, like these fixed identities. Eloise, like, I'm the one
Yes.
who's snarky, who's never going to settle down. Benedict left me.
I'm on
in
the
our
shelf.
Club. Yeah. And so that's the way I'm just going to be. It's actually, you haven't given yourself any room to figure out who you can be and who you are. And it's disappointing because I just feel like she used to be funny, comic relief, like a great feminist voice. And now she's actually being hard on women in a way that I find quite unsupportive.
That is not feminist at all. Is not supportive of women at all. And is really actually what I loved was that moment when Sophie was in the gazebo saying, these women spent 6 hours today probably just getting ready just for you to notice them. That's it. Not even dance with them, but just for you. Yeah, that's one night. And they have been raised to become these people. And you can't then resent that they've become these people.
Yeah.
And so I get that Eloise wants something different, but you don't have to tear down everything else around you because that's not what you want.
Can I also say something?
Yeah,
this I think taps into, which I'm sure we've talked about and you've seen, like the bare minimum trend online. There was some stuff that was sold as above and beyond, grand gestures, heroic, that I think is the bare minimum. I'll give you one example.
I love this already.
At this summer party, Benedict is so drunk, doesn't even realize where he is, which house he's at, who's hosting it, right?
Yes.
We see the owner of that home, also drunk, attack a maid, right?
Yes.
And try to sexually assault her. And they play this heroic music as Benedict intervenes and fights him and says, apologize. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm glad. Bare minimum to stop somebody from getting raped if you can. That to me is not like a hero move. To me, that's like, why weren't every man in that room stepping in to do something, right?
Why? And can we guess that shit like that happened all the time? I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. I'm sure that there was a whole system that maids had to go through to protect each other and different things. But you're right. Like Benedict stopping somebody from raping someone, that's human.
Yeah.
That's absolutely human. And it's a little gross that we think it isn't. Right. And Sophie was out there. She was also trying to stop it, although not as easily or have the power to really do so. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like we've been talking a little bit about doing maybe a show coming up, calling out rom-coms of what's actually kind, healthy, helpful versus what is truly the bare minimum. Yeah. And we give so much credit, particularly to men, I hate to say it, about doing the bare minimum and them being heroes. Listen, Benedict, besides getting, I don't know, did he get knifed? Did he get stabbed? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Besides that, which is questionable because this is supposedly your friend, but besides being stabbed, like Benedict was not put out at all in any way these whole first 4 episodes.
No, not at all.
In any way.
No.
Like Sophie is having to find new work. She's having to like,
sell jewelry and
I can't fully get behind the fact that one person here is doing all the suffering and work and trouble, and one person just like, ooh, do you think you should be my mistress? Okay, right.
Well, I can't find the person that I wanted originally, but you're here and I like you, so
right. And my family's never going to be okay with you, so let's create a scenario without even asking you about it. It's just not even bare minimum. It's disrespectful. But that's why we have this podcast to point out this is actually what's okay and this is what's not. Or not even right or wrong, but here's what gets you relationships that feel good and here's what doesn't. Yeah. Any final takeaways from Love Lessons for everybody?
Okay, so I'll speak for the both of us. We will never love the idea of the marriage mart. Never be into this idea. How women had to sell themselves with their dowries and the way they looked, find a husband, find a man who was wealthy, yada, yada. And we can separate that out from what I think are like the truly beautiful love lessons from this season. things like talking about sex doesn't make sex less sexy.
Right.
Seeing Francesca and John have these intimate conversations about sex, I thought was amazing. Same with Violet and Lord Anderson, Marcus.
Yes.
Them talking about sex and her nervousness about being intimate again. Like, to me, that kind of emotional intimacy is building what will be wonderful physical intimacy. So I thought that was great. And just like the openness and the consent we saw between people. Loved it.
I agree. The biggest takeaway for me, and I really haven't talked about it much, but we've got 3 more episodes and an afternoon tea, was the vulnerability. The vulnerability of Francesca asking about her friends and then John, talking to John about sex. Violet being vulnerable to Lord Anderson about, it's been a while and I'm nervous and I'm scared. And just everybody being a little bit more vulnerable, because that's where love is. It's in the vulnerability. We can't love perfect. Vulnerability is what creates deeper connection and intimacy and eventually leads to love. So more of that, more of that. Because I would say that the Regency era is not one of vulnerability usually. Everybody is withholding all of the information and then maybe scrolling it down on paper, right? But guys, that's a wrap for part 1 of our love lessons from Bridgerton season 4. I think we've laughed, we've swooned, and yes, we absolutely judged a few questionable choices.
But we do want to hear from you. What moments made you melt? What did you yell at the TV screen? What love lessons stood out the most?
And you guys can actually share with us. Head to romcomrescue.com and leave us a voicemail on our SpeakPipe or slide into our DMs on Instagram. We are posting daily. I'm trying to put up carousels and videos. There is so much good content out there about Bridgerton right now. It's chef's kiss.
It's like a pinnacle of content at the moment.
It is a zenith. And your hot takes might end up on the show if you want to.
Also, don't forget we'll be dropping new Bridgerton episodes every week this month. So crazy. All leading up to our live Bridgerton afternoon tea in March.
So follow, subscribe, leave a review. We love it. If you're enjoying all of our tea, the analysis, and the occasional rant, because, it's me.
No, that's how we love you. And because at the end of the day,
romance is fun. Fantasy is delicious.
But we still believe we create our own happily ever afters. And
pinnacles. Zenith. That's
Zenith.
Oh my God, that's the best shit I've ever heard. Let's get pinnacle. See you guys next week.